Hey, Chicago Fire fans, such a pleasure and honor to be with you once again. Next to the brilliant analyst, Kevin Egan, I'm Dan Kelly, and we are really stoked about the change of the TV plan this year for the men in red. They've moved on up with the big boys in the marketplace. CSN Chicago, 21 games. It's going to be great.
Oh, you couldn't have said it better, Dan. Really excited. 21 matches. We'll preview, we'll break down this great team, and we'll also have the 30-minute pre-game show as well. So get excited, Fire fans. With the new additions, it's going to be a great season.
Speaking of the new additions, we'll look ahead about what excites us about this 2015 Chicago Fire side. So this was somewhat of an issue last year. The Chicago Fire's play around goal. Just 41 goals in 34 games. Sure, big injuries to Patrick Nyako and Mike McGee, but you certainly would like more options, more flavor of attack for the Chicago Fire to have a successful 2015.
Oh, stop right there, Dan Kelly. 2015 brings so much new hope and optimism. Frank Yallop has worked long and hard to bring in 3 designated players for the very first time in Chicago Fire history, introducing Kennedy Igboananike, David Akam, and also Sean Maloney. Also, a guy like Guli DePrado should score goals too. So this Chicago Fire team, I think, will create a lot more chances and in turn score a lot more goals this season.
And they'll certainly finish with a lot more flair than my partner, Kevin Egan.
Harry Shipp takes it away. Harry Shipp walks in for the hat trick. Holy Shipp, he does it. Hat trick.
2 guys rooted to the bench right where we belong, but we put on our Frank Yallop hat for a moment. Full off season, first time the second-year manager has had it so he can hit his hands around the operation. He brings that Canadian English flavor. What type of style is this team going to have?
Well, I think I'm stating the obvious when I say that the Fire needed to certainly add creative quality, but also pace. And that's exactly what Frank Yallop has gone and done. He's brought in Jovan Jones to play on the left side at the back, and I think he's really, really talented. He's also got great pace. Ahead of him, David Akam as well. On the right-hand side, you'll have Lavelle Palmer. You'll also have Kennedy Igboananike, Sean Maloney. The wee magician is no slouch either. So all around this pitch right now for the Fire, you've got options both left and right that weren't there last year, and I think it's going to add a different dynamic to this team this season.
Pace everywhere. That's not a bad thing.
Kellen Rowe launches it in. Johnson! Incredible reaction stop.
So we know Chicago Fire fans always had a hatred for Sporting Kansas City, and they never fancied Houston much. Well, they're in the other conference now, Western Conference. We welcome Orlando and New York. How does that change the complexion of this Eastern Conference?
Well, it's a little bit of an unknown for the Chicago Fire and the fans right now. Certainly, they've added much quality. You look at New York City FC, they've brought in the likes of David Villa, Frank Lampard will come in the summer, Mix Diskerud as well. Orlando, Kaká, former World Player of the Year. So they certainly have quality pieces, but can they gel instantly? Can they impress on the eastern side of things? Time will tell. But for the Chicago Fire, this team has been together now. Frank Yallop got his players in nice and early, and the team has gelled. And there's been much talk throughout the camp about what a great group this is. I think the Chicago Fire can certainly catch some of these teams on the hop and tear up the Eastern Conference nice and early.
And talk about potential road trips for the supporters. Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Yankee Stadium in New York, not too bad.
Drops for Harry Shipp. Harry Shipp, cheeky moves, lets it go! Harrison Shipp!
So you walk into any soccer pitch, you better have leaders, guys who can drive the bus. And I definitely think there's more of that this year. We talked about the speed, the 3 DPs, but guys like Chris Ritter, Sean Johnson, Jeff Lorenowitz has been around here a lot longer. A lot of these first-year players, well, they're not rookies anymore, and I think we're going to have a lot louder voices in the locker room.
Well, the team needs it desperately. Big-time players to step up at crucial moments in matches. We always talk about Jeff Lorenowitz and his leadership, but a lot of the younger guys, you mentioned Chris Ritter and Harry Shipp, those guys. Also, Razvan Kochic, Lavelle Palmer, Matt Watson, now in their second season with the Chicago Fire. They understand tradition, honour and passion. They know exactly what it means to represent this great club, and I think you'll see a big difference in the way they perform this season.
Oh yeah, and knowing tradition, honor and passion, that John Bush guy knows a little bit about that too.
Right over the shoulders of Zach McMath. Jeff Lorenowitz! Fire take the lead, Big Red opens the scoring.
So we've seen the evidence why we should be excited this season. The investment from ownership, 3 DPs, speed all around the field. The kids, they're not really kids anymore. They're more mature and experienced. It looks like this team is going to get back to where they belong, raising trophies and MLS Cup playoffs. Just how good can they be, Kev?
Well, the Chicago Fire Soccer Club has simply raised its game in the offseason, bringing in quality players when asked upon. And I think looking throughout this squad right now, all the way from Sean Johnson up through Kennedy Iguananike, and when Mike McGee, Patrick Nyako comes back into the team, it's a threatening team. It's a team that a lot of teams will not want to face. So hopefully the team can get going, get a nice few wins nice and early. This promises to be a really enjoyable season there.
Scary Side 2015 will be epic.